What is up, everybody? It is Monday, July 15th, and we are looking at these two trades that we took today. We took a short trade and a long trade, and clearly we got stopped out on the short, and we made back our loss plus more on the long trade. So overall, this morning I had come in with a bearish bias to start with, and the reason why was because if you look, this looked like a liquidity grab right here. We ended up having a strong displacement candle down from that high, and we ended up getting a market structure shift as well. Now, I was a little conflicted in the morning because of the fact that we did last week get a liquidity grab down there and we started to move on up. Now, we don't have any kind of market structure shift here. So I was still more inclined to shorts because I was expecting sort of a continuation move down here on the 4-hour chart. Flipping to the 1-hour chart, we see that we had a move on up and we respected this 1-hour fair value gap. It's also a 4-hour fair value gap. We respected it and started to come up. So I figured, you know what, if this is going to end up becoming the swing low, then we're going to come to this high and eventually take off. That was during the trade. That was during the trade that I had the short. But overall, initially I came in bearish biased. And I further was bearish biased because if you look at the quarterly cycles, overnight action, we had accumulation. London manipulated on up. And so I expected us to move on down. If you look at the sub cycles or the micro cycles here for the AM session, we had accumulation, and right at the beginning of Q2, we took out this high, and we also had taken out the London high, and then we started to move on down. So I wanted to see a move on up here into this 15-minute fair value gap that I had marked out right over here, and I wanted to see us take out maybe this swing high that had formed on a lower time frame, and then target the draw on liquidity that I believed was this swing low here within this 1-hour fair value gap. So that was my target for this morning on that short. If we take a look here now for the AM session, we ended up coming here. We also manipulated up for this microcycle for the 9 o'clock to 10:30 quarter. And that right there made me super bearish. We ended up getting a market structure shift down low. And when I saw that when did I enter in? I entered in at the market structure shift, or really it was inversing all of these 1-minute fair value gaps that we had. Had one there, another one there, and this one big candle ended up, causing us to have an inversion fair value gap, 3 of them. Now my entry is all the way down there because Apex had some issues this morning where nobody was able to take a trade on their accounts, and so I tried to get in and it didn't let me. So I had to switch on over to a MyFunded Futures account that I just bought over the weekend and traded that evaluation account. And so I entered in short. I actually averaged down when it came on up to this specific fair value gap right there in discount. Had my stop above this high. When we came down here, and then it started to pump right back up one more time, taking out that high, and then started to come back down. That's when I started to think, you know what, if this was truly going to break on down like the way I thought it was going to, then we would not be getting this movement back up. I wanted to see us take out this swing low right there. So that started to make me weary, and I ended up putting my stop loss right above this high here, and my entry was sitting around here, so it was slightly above my entry. But regardless, with this right here, that's when I flipped over to the 1-hour and I saw that bullish structure forming. So I decided, hey, if I get stopped out here, I'm going to end up taking a long entry. And specifically when this 1 minute, or sorry, was it this one? Where did I enter? I got stopped out there. Yeah, I immediately got in long because I knew that if this high got taken out and we started to come on up, then we were going to end up going for highs. And so I got stopped out right there, as you can see. And then I bought in again long with my stop below this low here. Now, ideally, we would have wanted at least this 1 minute fair value gap to come back and get retested. And it did. I didn't buy in on that one. But if we look, this was a bearish fair value gap, and this should have held price down. This candle right here closed above. This candle came and tapped right into it. I was thinking about selling my position here, and it was going to be in slight profit and then flipping long, but I've never really done that before, and I wanted to get stopped out first. So as soon as I got stopped out, that's when I bought in on the next trade here, and my stop was below this low. I took one of my contracts off at this high because, you know, we always get a reaction at highs and lows, and so I wanted to secure some profit and make back some of that loss. And the last one, I left it as a runner, and I targeted a swing high right over here. I believe if you look at the 15-minute, we should be able to see that. Yep, it was the high from Friday PM session. I wanted to target that level because obviously we were going to go for some higher time frame liquidity. And then glad that I took it there, because if you notice, right after that, we ended up getting displacement on down. So obviously Mondays are a consolidation day, and we may end up getting, we don't usually get a big move on up or a big move on down. We tend to have one move and then it kind of just, you know, stays within a specific range. So overall, it was a good day. You know, those two trades were great. The first one, I cut it really quick because I realized I switched my bias really fast. And that's something that we need to work on. You know, the days that I don't switch my bias like that, or that I switch it too preemptively, I end up getting screwed, excuse me. And so, yeah, I have a whole bunch of different fair value gaps marked out just because I like to see how price reacts to each one of them, and it kind of gives me the sense of what order flow is being respected. And with that, I noticed it was obviously bullish order flow. We were respecting a lot of bullish fair value gaps and disrespecting the bearish ones. And so, yeah, great Monday, great execution, you know, keeping patient through all of this here, and eventually it hit our take profit. Yeah, it ran a little bit more, but then, you know, came back down. So hopefully you guys ended green. It was a great day overall, and we'll see what the rest of the week brings. See you guys. Peace.